Hello lovely play peeps, welcome back to casual games against lower rated opponents. We are playing against Spinoza, who was a famous philosopher once, and he's playing the garbage gambit. And even in the garbage gambit, lesser known line, because usually they play this queen e7 cheapie. I will show you that after the game, what the trick is about. I saw the other day Eric Rosen giving a thorough explanation of that particular line on his stream. Of course, Eric is famously known for liking gambit play and tricky variations. So now knight f3 is already a losing move because after pawn takes back, the queen and the fork is hanging. So he decided to walk into this pin, which is also super suspicious. So now I have got take, queen d4, putting more pressure here, forcing f6. Or I can just play a developing move, and I shall choose to do that, because here, black actually doesn't really have good moves left. Bishop e7 seems to be the only one. This is not one of them, because it helps me to develop, and it creates problems for him. So now after knight e5, I have the beautiful queen h5. And the reason why I call that beautiful is because it actually pins the f-pawn, which is the only means for black to defend the knight on e5. So after knight e5, queen h5, he actually loses the knight on e5. I do wonder if he's going to find it or not, though. So he played queen c5, which is an unfortunate blunder, because now I get to go to town on his queen side and just gobble up everything. That being said, I'm very tempted here not to take the rook but castle. In fact, I shall do that, because after takes, queen takes, takes rook, queen takes c2, there is a bishop b4 mate threat, and since we are totally winning, it's more important to retain the momentum of the attack. I talk a lot about this in my course, in my chessable course development, that when the ball is rolling, it's very important to choose the right moment and the right way to cash in. And that was not the right way and the right moment to cash in. Now I need to be aware of the mate threat, which of course I did see. But now knight hanging and the rook is still on. So in strong contrast to taking the rook here, if he now drops the knight back to e6, then I take the rook, and I'm still a rook ahead, and he has got no counterplay whatsoever to speak of. So this is a very, very big mindset difference between higher rated players and lower rated players, and I don't even want to draw here a line of how high and how low, that a lot of people here would have settled for this. And after queen c2, I'm sure white is winning, by the way, don't get me wrong. Something like bishop d3 should bring home the full point, but it's a little bit messy. And messy is the ultimate ugly word when we are winning. We want messy when we are worse. That's when we want mess. When we are clearly winning, we don't want mess. Mess is basically a synonym for when weird stuff can happen. In chess at least. And we don't want weird stuff to happen when we have got the enemy rook hanging. So now queen on, rook on, the game is over. And I even got the knight for free, so this is unfortunate to say the least. So queen a5, we take c8, and f5 bishop in is also on the agenda. He can't take this because I've got the check and take. Yeah, so that's gonna be it. So check. And now if he goes here, I will need to think a little bit about what is the most efficient way to finish it off. Probably I will play bishop c4 once again, preferring developing over taking dead pieces. Okay, if he lets me take it with check, I shall. Okay, so if I go check, king back. Nah, there's mate here. I'm kidding. Okay, so what's the fastest mate? No, the fastest mate is e5 and then check, checkmate. That's it. GG. Okay, so the trick I was talking about in this game is this queen e7 trickery. I don't even know what this is called. That's why I call the garbage gambit. Where black is hoping that this check is going to yield something. And if in this position I play the tempting looking bishop c3, then it could. Knight c3, bishop b4, rook b1, and black is essentially dead here. If I just play developing moves. But the greedy bishop c3 is bad because bishop b4 comes. And then after bishop, queen d2, trying to retain this. Bishop takes, queen takes, and then we get mated. That's the trick. Okay, 2190. So 2200 essentially. So let's do Sicilian. And this should be interesting. So obviously the type of mistakes we are expecting here, e5. I've made a YouTube video about this, the e5 thrust in the Sicilians, which are almost always bad when they are rushed like this. There's a trick here that if it takes to the queen, I can't go knight f5 because then knight e4, but now I can just drop back, and d5 square is chronically weak. So, sorry, I should rephrase this. They're not almost always bad. In fact, there are a large number of cases when it's pretty good. But, yeah, if I get to claim control of this square, then I'm usually doing more than fine. Now, queen g4 is something that I didn't expect, I'm not gonna lie. I have got a few options here. I can go queen d3, defending this, allowing this to be taken, rook g1, queen h2, and then queen b5 check. Knight d7, queen b7, rook b8, queen takes, resulting in a very weird position that I don't necessarily oppose. I think that's quite decent actually for me, because the queen on h2 is really not doing much. Although no, okay, so that's a real option. If castles knight e4, f3, then he has got knight takes c3. I guess that's what he's banking on. And if castles knight e4, knight e4, queen e4, knight c3, queen c6, knight d5, we do have some compensation, but not enough. So I will go with this, but I'm not 100% certain if that's best. Maybe knight d7 is good here, threatening that. This is bad because knight b4 I can always check down. Knight d7 was an interesting move in my opinion. Now the longer this queen stays here, the weirder it becomes. And frankly, I really want to sack this. So I'm just gonna develop. Because the longer it goes on, the worse the queen gets here. Because if you play something like bishop e7, castles, then I just play f3. And I doubt he's going to take. And if he goes back, then I just got a very easy attack. So it's exactly playing out the way I predicted. Maybe takes is good, and maybe he needs to bite the bullet and play like that. Because any other case, he just is clearly on the back foot. And that's a terrible retreat too. Golly gosh. Like, that's where the rook needed to go, dude. Okay, I don't want to sound too condescending, but this is iffy chess by the opponent at best. Queen c4. I mean, I could go b3 here, right? b3, queen back, king b2. Is d5 pending? I wonder. Or should I just go king b1? So if b3, queen back, king b2, d5, ed, rook d8, I got a little bit messy. Maybe queen c8 was sorry, g4 was bad here. Maybe I needed to play something like a3. Oddly enough, I shouldn't have maybe allowed this. Okay, I go king b1. If he doesn't play d5 now after g5, everything collapses, because then he has to go back. I kick this out, has to go back, knight d5, and I'm just rolling up and mate. So d5 is the only sensible choice in my opinion, which I shall take. Rook d8, b3. Oh, wow. Okay. I did not see that move coming. I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes some sense because now after a3, I'm not necessarily threatening to take. And also after knight c6, knight d5, you will have b5, b4. I'm curious though to see what his next move wants to be. So I'm going to do this because after all, attacking here is definitely part of my plan, right? And I'm dying to know what his follow-up is, because if he plays a4, I will go a3 in a heartbeat. If he plays b5, then it's a toss-up. Even no, actually no, it's not, because then I go b3, a3, and it still has to go, and then knight d5. So ironically, we play two side moves, two pawn moves on the side, but whilst mine I think has a valid point in attacking the king side, his is looking a little bit iffy. His is looking a little bit iffy. Is everything all right? Do we have sound? It looks like we do. And we're recording too. Okay, so I said I will kick it. So what he can do here that I didn't again calculate because I'm a doozy is that after a3 he might go here. So a3, queen a6. And if I take, it takes back, and I'm getting all kinds of mates. G3 knight here would be interesting. Actually, let's go here. If he goes there, I will go here. A4 take. Check king here. Ooh. Okay, this may not be good. This may not be good. Queen a6, man. I mean, knight g3, a3, knight f5, actually. Yeah, that's it. Just to confuse. Yeah, knight f5 is gonna hurt. Rook e8. And then we'll take it from there. Knight f5, rook. So a4, knight f5. Oh my god. A4, knight. A4. Whoa! I need to take a lesson from Nakamura in drawing arrows. Okay, that was really bad. Because now I can push past against either pawn pushes. Plus now my knight is a monster, and another one is incoming. So note how I'm creating various threats. So probably bishop d8 is forced, exactly. But now he has lost the momentum of his attack, whereas mine is gaining momentum. So now knight f5 is incoming next. Maybe I should have played knight f5 first, hitting the pawn and potentially creating alternative threats as well, because now I'm thinking he might play knight e7. Then again, after take knight f5, it looks like, boy, I am building up some mess on the king side. Yeah, it sucks for him that neither pawn pushes work now, because I just pushed past. So now he walked into that too. Yeah, this is going from bad to worse now for black. Hazael is the name of our opponent. All good here? Still, okay. I don't know if I told you this, guys, but because of my various online activities and the various content creating activities, I should rather say, I have acquired a second screen. And first of all, it's an absolute blessing. And secondly, it really makes life so much easier. And it avoids a lot of foolish mistakes in the recording. For example, one good example of that is... Oh no, it's actually inside my head, so it's all good. Although technically this is not an inside my head, but you can see the names of the players and all that shebang. So yeah, black is experiencing now major difficulties. I was looking at maybe knight d4 to try to eliminate one attackers, but then maybe I have bishop takes, pawn takes, and then queen takes. Now that blunders an exchange, to say the least. But again, just like in the previous occasions, when I told you that I like to be very cautious with how and when I cash in. And here, instead of pursuing this, I'm going for mate. Because what I notice here, and I highly recommend you to very often just do a self-check-in like that. Watch this. If I cut the board half here, along this file here, and I'm doing circles instead of an arrow, and you notice that to the right side of this circle line, there are no black pieces. So what that means is that this attack that I'm conducting here is destined to success. Because none of these dudes, actually I should make them, how do you make them red? There's a way how you can make them red. Ha! These guys are not partaking in the game. And that's how easily it can go. Quick look, because there were a few interesting things in this opening. Ha! Queen d3, best move. Booyah, baby! The old man still has it. Oh, and on this note, I am putting it forward both for this video and for my other video, the rating climb, speedrun, whatever, that first of all, I'm a cheerful person, right? So I like to celebrate, I like to laugh, I like positivity, let's put it this way. But I like to celebrate things that have value in them. A nice checkmate, a nice attack, a nice idea. These are things I appreciate and I celebrate. I do not celebrate myself, contrary to what a lot of people thought when I published my last speedrun video, when I defeat an 800 rated player. I'm not going to tear up and cry tears because I defeated someone, but I also find it somewhat obnoxious to celebrate like mad. So if you saw me celebrating in a situation like that, more than likely it was dedicated to the motive or what was seen on the board rather than to the victory itself. Because if anything, I certainly am not a bully and I don't ever want to be seen as such. And unfortunately, the speedrun, especially in the early phases, and some of these casual games too, when I play a fair bit down, which I didn't now, but I potentially will, offer themselves to such scenarios when the discrepancy between the players is so large that no matter what kind of reactions it triggers in me, it feels a little bit weird and unwarranted. But rest assured that I am here predominantly for enjoying chess and the beauty it offers, rather than being the bully pushing people around who are 2,000 rated points rated less than me. That's not really what I consider to be fun in chess. Okay. Back to casual, folks. I don't know if I'm going to put this together with the previous video when I lost internet connection. We'll see. If not, then this is our first game. If not, then this is our, I don't know what game. Okay, get out of here. Oh, wow. That's a shocker of a move. Like, why would you take that? That is just so sad, man. Because now he's going to push all his pawns on white, or rather he's going to blunder all of them. But either way, it was ugly. Oh, it's a 3-minute blitz. That's why he's playing so fast. Okay, so yeah, giving up a bishop like this, guys, it's virtually never good. Like, that's my best piece, the dark square bishop now. It's uncontested by him on the dark squares. It can't be good. Now I want to come in from here. Queen b6, b4, a5, softening up these pawns here. Maybe that was actually a bit weird, but now c5 square is mine too, so I can come in here. I'm not taking this because no need yet. In fact, you consider this bishop is rather harmless. And now when I take it, it's gonna be double pawns. And although I did make a big spiel about double pawns not always being a big deal, but now I'm pretty happy that that happened. Queen c5, bishop e5, or even queen across. Yeah, that's an illusion, that 7th rank. There is nothing there, I think. I hope. Bishop d4 looks legit. I like this queen across though. It hits here, hits here. How could it be not good? Bishop e5, almost game winning. So now I want the sneaky. And that sneaky is gonna be queen here followed by h5 followed by bishop e5. Yep. That's it. It also makes him feel uncomfortable on the back rank now. So plan h5, bishop e5, shachmat. G to the G. Now he's gonna go back there. Which I missed, but then f3 is free, so I will just take this. GG. c5. Okay. So that's a free pass pawn for me, thank you. I like his name. d4, e5, c5, Berlin, Nimzo, Queen's Indian. Covers a fair bit, to be honest. Oh, I have a beautiful motif here. d4, and if the knight goes here, I can go check. Unfortunately for him now, d4 is end of story. So the idea was to remove the defender of the queen by this check. Said defender doesn't exist anymore. No rematch. New opponent. It's G Manju. There is a dude called Manju or something like that who follows me on Twitter. Is that him? Would be cool. By the way, be sure that you follow me on Twitter because I put everything up there that is chess related. The Queen's Gambit! Ha! Ah, no, it's the Tarash. The Tarash. And now it's back to Panov Nimzo or Nimzo, or I mean Panov without the Nimzo. Okay, IQP. I have made a video on IQP. So now I can test my own knowledge on the IQP. I should have gone to A2 so that after B5 I had D5. That was silly. D5 winning yet? No. If the queen was on D3, D5 would be a winning move here. Okay. So now we need to play this to force G6, which is going to allow us to connect the rooks. I really should have gone back to A2. I was such a fool. Because now, if the bishop had been on B3, sorry, on A2, my bishop would be now... Yeah, long story short, now I will have to go probably around to reroute my bishop onto this diagonal. Queen C7. Okay, we'll go in. I like this move because it creates usually some kind of heat, and it also allows my queen to move along the third rank. For example, now I do have a beautiful threat. Bishop here, rook here, knight takes f7, and if king takes, then it's mate. So note how as the dude playing with the IQP, I am dodging the trades, and I'm trying to build up the attack, the initiative. And now we succeeded. And he walked into mate in 1. So that's how you play the IQP, more or less, when you are attacking along with it. But make sure that you don't turn on the engine, because then comes the embarrassment that I did everything wrong. Yeah, bishop a2. I knew that as soon as I made that move that was a lemon. Ha! I knew it was d5. Because after d5, ed, queen d3, I'm threatening to take, and it's so hard to stop. That's the motif that I made a video about. I'm such a tool. It's Smyslov-Karpov. Not exactly the same position, but the same motif. Having said that, g6 holds here. Seemingly. So, okay, maybe not. Okay, bishop g5, rook d1, and we are clearly worse after knight c4. Ha! So much for this is how you play this, right? Knight e5, rook d8, queen h3 was goodish. And then that was just a win. Okay, one more. Alright, here we go. Chess Daredevil. 2200 and question mark. I'm not excited about that. So we are going to go... Okay, whatever. So I'm going to go on to one of my favorite lines, the Khan Sicilian, also correctly known as the Neo-Paulsen, which is, by the way, a line I think I did mention in the previous video, but I don't know if I managed to keep that part or not. That it's not something I would recommend to people who start out with the Sicilian, because it's basically, it relies a lot on motifs from other Sicilian variations. So it needs a bit of, you need a bit of knowledge from various other Sicilian structures, in particular the Scheveningen and the Paulsen, to understand the intricacies, and to some degree even the hedgehog. So bishop b4 is interesting now. a3, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, d5, but then this c5 is a gaping hole. I mean, I could just transition into Scheveningen now, and the knight on b3 is really bad. That's one thing I could do. I could do d5, ed, knight, d, bishop d, but yeah. And b4, knight here, d5 is not good yet because of knight b6. Okay, let's just go here. No. Okay, that's a strange move to play, really, because if he wants to castle here, this bishop may or may not be useful there. It can often be an easy target. And also every move like this delays his own attack here, which should have been in motion ages ago. And as soon as you castle there, now white has nothing to play for. Knight e5 already. Knight e5, f4 knights, yeah. So now this is very annoying. I'm going to get one of his bishops. And as soon as that happens, black is already in the driving seat. Actually, I totally missed f4 knight here. And then if bishop takes, queen takes, knight a5. That's a logical attempt, but yeah, he's too late to the party. Like, this is how a Sicilian can easily escalate and get out of hand, that white just does nothing, because he hasn't even attempted a plan other than putting pieces on squares where they don't hang. And so now I've got the two bishops, I've got a semi-open c-file, I've got these pawns rolling up, and he's got nothing. Like, usually you should have a kingside attack, now half killing me. That's how far behind he is. Chess Daredevil. All of his other ratings are extremely low compared to his Rapid or whatever this is. We'll see. Knight b3 I have to watch, because again that's a dirty motive there. So it comes handy I can go here, because then I can drop the bishop back to a8 if need be. And now the other horse is going to enter the fray, unless d5, e, d, knight, d, knight, d, nah. No, I don't want to do that yet. Now I have an interesting opportunity, because now I can go knight e5 and second exchange. But I'm going to call it not yet. I will go in here. He drops back. I drop back, and then the knight is incoming. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. So we dodge the trade, and we are incoming, which is of course very foolish of me to think it's gonna happen, because knight a5 stops it. And then I might have to go knight c4, knight takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, but still be ahead. The alternative to that is to drop back and then going for the exchange. What should we do, team? Let's see how he handles this. Because I have got a few useful moves here, like g5, h5, h4 to secure those dark squares and potentially even move a king up. Yeah, like now if I took, bishop d4, took, he can take. And he very clearly wants to play bishop d4. So it's now or never. Take, bishop d4 takes, take, and rook d8 check is problematic. That's a pity. That's a pity because we may have burnt our advantage then if we can't do that. Okay, let's go here. So bishop d4 is the most logical move, says me. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Now with g5 I don't have the back rank mate problems. I should be fine. So bishop d4 I take, he takes, I take, check, take, king up, rook takes. And we win. Oh, I think. I'm a bit worried about this d5 being cranked open onto me. So bishop d4 takes, take, knight b3 with lots of penetrations, and my bishops are exposed. Now that was a terrible move, I think. Or maybe not. Knight c4, bishop d4, knight d2, bishop c3. Okay, I can't do that. But what I can do is come back and then knight c4 and eat that pawn, right? Yes. I can do that. So now knight c4 has become very frustrating. I quite like this game. Oh. I didn't realize that some mess is in the background. Sorry. And also my mic is standing up a bit higher than it should. So we are all G. And let's go back to action. If the rook moves here, I take, and then c2 hangs. If the rook goes there, I take his still, and that hangs. Not easy to defend, by the way. So he opts out of doing so. Interesting. So take, knight takes is a bit scary because there are some backrank dramas here looming. I don't really want to give the rooks freedom. Rook takes, he knight d4, rook checking up, rook takes. I mean, that should be pretty good for me, but no. We'll just come back. I would really love to have this happening. That would be very awesome. So actually after bishop b2, I might even do this d5. Because I desperately want this bishop out. And if he plays e5, then he shuts down his own bishop very badly. Bishop c5 becomes a motif. Then I feel more inclined to start taking pawns. That was another terrible trade by him because now he has to monitor this, among other things. So now I can take another pawn. Yeah. And I shall. Take. So take, rook in, rook takes. And then if he takes f7 with either, I have got check. If he takes, and then he hunts this pawn, I have got the king side pawns rolling in. Cool game. Cool game. I do hope that these two videos that I have recorded, the two together, can become one. It's up to my beautiful video editor to make it work. Yeah, so I don't know what he's thinking about now. Is he gonna take? No, he's not taking. Weird. Okay. Does he want a knight on d4 perhaps? I guess. Okay, let's defend this pawn against some rook g1 h4 shenanigans. And then bishop d5, rook c3 is the plan. So let's put this here to block off this. And next let's put it in here to be pesky as heck. Actually g4 was winning there, probably. But I'm trying to be extremely thematic. And in the quest of being cute, I'm missing some very basic tactics like this one here. Okay, this bishop looks... Actually, do I want to walk into that too? Okay, let's not make it worse than what it is. Okay, this is still very comfortably winning, but I should have played g4 ages ago. So knight d4, I was hoping to play bishop here. Yeah, let's go. Because that is going to fall for a lot of tactics. That pin is looking juicy. Bishop takes and then me conquering the d file. Lots of pins, lots of action is happening there. Yep, let's go with bishop. Maybe pawn was better, I don't know, but it feels like I've got more realistic chances of rounding up that king. So now a back rank check is a mate. So this move looks extremely difficult to deal with. Check this out. He can't go back there because that hangs. He can't move this rook at all. Wow. And against rook d6, I was hoping to pull a trick that I realize is not working, because that's what I'm best at, which is blundering, which was to come here. But it does work actually. And then mate. And now he's also potentially facing this. Maybe he'll sack now. King f2, rook in, rook d2, rook here. Oh boy, I'm making this so hard on myself. This was really a poor way to convert this. This is where I really dropped the ball. I think g4 he would have just mobbed up. Without too many dramas. Knight d4, bishop here. Yeah, probably it wins. Now it looks like I'm still looking to do some hard yards. Maybe bishop here and just take that. Yeah, let's get greedy. We'll eat that pawn and be happy. I think it needs to go to d2 or c6. Okay. That surprised me. So if I go here now, he has to go back. Or so I thought. And if he goes back, I can attack the knight, and now it can't go to any sensible square, so it will have to go to here or here. And then actually the pawn is immune, kind of, because of check. Only kind of, because the rook can block. But it's a huge improvement because, like I said, he needed to play rook here back right away. Now I got the rook already on the correct file. So now it's getting messier for him. Actually, hang on a second. Bishop f4 here would have won that pawn and that pawn too. I mean, not that I can't... Oh, no, not quite, because there's check here. Fair enough. Yeah, okay. I need to stop talking. Okay, I thought that this would be an easy win. Note, this is a very common opposing setup with bishop knight when these squares are all taken away from the horse. Now I have to be a little bit cautious because I have got the wrong corner. So this is something that a lot of players on lower levels would not think about right now when they start shoving the pawns up. That an unfortunate trade followed by a very well-timed sack. And I'm toast. Because I can't win with what I have got left. Which is the reason why I'm holding back these pawns. And the idea is that I want to push this as far as I can to make one of these pieces commit rather heavily. But now again I shot myself in the leg a little bit because I was hoping for an easy entry and I don't have it. And I want to win this pawn. So now I'm looking at coming in from here. I need to be careful because of knight g5. So let's go here to take away a few squares from that pesky horse. Also note that the king is very much tied down. Okay, so if I go e5, yeah, offers draw. Good, nice try, the kid. Now I want to go in and just win this. Only problem is if I go here knight d4, right? So it's not that simple, unfortunately, for me to get in there. Okay, let's go back. Oh, actually, no, it's simple. I just need to play e5. But then knight h4 is going to be pesky. Interesting stuff. Okay, let's just go. Let us just go. Because now the knight... Yeah, that's... okay, so he's dying to go that way. I'm looking already out for some tactical opportunities. Okay, let's go here. Knight c2, king up forces the knight way out. And then in, and we win. And now the knight is trapped. GG. Okay, that was neat. That was, in the end, that was quite neat. I'm really proud of this. We trapped the knight. Has no squares to go to. Check that out. Except that. But this loses now because I can take it and then he can't get the pawn. Sure. Fire away, buddy. What better move have you got than that? Impress me. Not an awful lot, hey? No, no, thank you. Like 700 take-back requests is a bit too many. Okay, we have been here before, buddy. So this is the key move that now the pawn rolls in. And he's now testing my ability to checkmate with the queen. Which I dare say is not perfect, but pretty efficient. GG! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for us for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. It was a little bit topsy-turvy because of the internet, but I hope that this will be still an enjoyable experience. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.